company, so I can get the weight off, right? And it's just keeping it off. So the problem with most people have is that when you're going into a diet, right, that's not a lifestyle change. That's a temporary change, right? And that's not what's going to come after that is not something that you signed up for, right? You didn't sign up to take a shake, once a day, and that's be the only meal you had, or twice a day, and that be the only meal you have with a salad. And you're not going to do that for the rest of your life, right? A lot of these things that we're doing, you're not going to do it for the whole entire life, right? So, your body at some point in time, you're going to have a moment where it flips on you, and now you're not just going to be, putting that weight back on. You're going to probably put on more weight than you had to begin with, right? And so, as a matter of fact, let me see something. I had something I want to show you guys real quick here. Where'd that go? Can you guys see that picture right there? Okay, I can see it on my sub screen. Okay, cool. So when it comes to on Zoom, this is a picture. You see the T-shirt that says I lost 30 pounds, right? And for those of you who are in the viewing audience, you can see this on Zoom. I see you guys on Facebook can't see it. I'll post a picture in Facebook, but it says I lost 30 pounds, right? And you see that picture. You see how much younger I look, how much thinner, my face is, and sleek and everything else. At that point in time, I went from 270 to 240. Okay. From 270 to 240. Okay. And that was years ago, right? Maybe 7, 8 years ago. Now, here it is. I'm going down from 287 to 257, right? And I'm 2 pounds away from that, right? 2, 3 pounds away from that. But now for me to just get back to where I was, right? I'm still at 257. I'm still 17 pounds. I'm 20 pounds right now away from where I was in that picture after I lost that 30 pounds. And so, guys, when I'm showing you this picture, and for those of you who see it, I showed you that picture because this is what happens to people all the time, right? If you don't get control over your weight and your health right now, right, at some point in time, it's going to get worse and worse. It's going to compound and compound. It's going to get harder and harder for you to actually lose it and reverse it, right? Your body changes and it works against you, not for you, because now you're depreciating as a human being. And so I want to make sure, you understand that this is a lifestyle change. That's my actual commitment, right? It's the lifestyle change. So when you look at, everything that I'm talking about today, this is very, very important. So I've actually committed that now, doing a OMAD diet, I've committed to doing an OMAD diet, 1 meal a day, um, basically until I don't want to do it anymore. I don't have an end date. I don't have a end of the date, but I'm going to be doing a 72-hour fast, once a month, and work my way up to a 7-day fast, right, once a quarter. Okay? Because this is the thing about the fast. Now I want to talk about some things that have actually happened. And so since I've been fasting, and some of you guys are going to see, really the power of fasting. When you do your research, you go to YouTube and anywhere else, go do what I did. I went to YouTube and I did a lot of research. Okay. So for me, there you go. So for me, I've had a circulation situation in my leg for years. As a matter of fact, to the point to where my right leg to where, it was discolored. Okay. And for the last 2 years, I've been trying to work that out, and the doctors couldn't help me work it out. I actually had a really, really hard, clay filling spot in my calf, because that was a place I had a blood clot in years ago. Okay. And so, blood clot gone, but the damage is still there. Okay. So still couldn't get rid of it. Nobody could help me, make it go away. And, since I've been walking, first of all, as walking is one, like I said, circulation, big time, 1 hour a day, and the fasting. Because when you start the fast, the body starts to heal itself, right? It doesn't just eat up the fat, because some of you guys think you're burning fat. You're not burning fat. The body is just eating up the fat. It starts to feed on itself when you don't feed it. Okay. And so That's why when you're fasting and after day two and day three, you feel like you feel like you're not hungry anymore. Right, your stomach is not talking to you because now it's on auto mode. It's now eating and feeding it, on the visceral fat and other fat that's in your body. But when the body starts to go through those stages and those phases of fasting, guys, it's you basically start to now get new cells and everything. All the old cells start to go away or be replenished or be rebuilt or however you want to say it. Just do your research. Like I said, no claims, guys. You'll see how fasting helps with just about everything. If you do it and you're consistent with it and you don't cheat it. You can't trick it. Don't be snacking around it. Just drink your water. Right. And so this is what I really wanted to tell you guys, because that's for me, it is just that simple now. I know it'll never come back because this is a part of who I am and who I'm willing to be for the rest of my life. Right. Because that's most important. I have beautiful wife and two beautiful sons, that I want to be here for, and I like the fact that now I can move around and play basketball with them and stuff like that again, like I used to, right? And so I owe them that. Okay? And so you also owe it to your families, right? So you don't want people taking care of you when you get to a certain position, certain age, and put yourself in a position where you can't care for yourself anymore too. And it now becomes a point where their life is surrounded by you taking care of them. Okay. So when it comes to the fast, if you have any questions about the fast, guys, put it in the chats and we'll address any questions you may have. But like what I was eating and things like that, that's fine too. But I am going to also at some point come back into the chats, when this is over and give you guys access to the walk and talk group that I was talking about. So if you want to participate in that group, you want to be a part of it, there's no membership, no fee. We just ask that you respect the people that are in that group, right? And make sure that you put yourself in a position where you understand it's a safe place, right? You can ask questions about anything from health, wealth, doesn't matter. But we just want to make sure that we start a movement that ends up being way bigger than anything we've ever done and impact people's lives all around the world. The money, guys, trust me, it's enough money out there for anybody and everybody to make, and money is being made in a lot of different things. But right there, this is real wealth right here, though. When you can go out here and impact the lives of people who you may not even know, but just based on what they hear from the words that come from your voice and a lot of your voices who will be in that group and who are already in that group as well, um, you have no idea what type of impact you're going to have. All right. So, real quick here, I guess for the next couple of minutes, what have you, if you guys have any questions, you put them in the chat and I'll make sure, I'll start to answer whatever I can right now. Let's see here. And if you have any, let's say, testimonials, things like weight loss, inches lost, and anything that you've been feeling, or experiencing positively since you've been a part of the journey, let them see, let them know, and that way we can. Let's see here. Yes. So when it comes to the water, that's all I drink. Guys, I haven't had, and for those you know, I sold coffee for years. Okay, and for a long time, 19, 20 plus years basically, and I drank coffee all of the years that I actually sold it. And I drank coffee for the first 2 days of this run, and again, all my habits, all my addictions, all those cravings were curbed. I didn't get hungry. I didn't have a craving for coffee. I no longer drink coffee, and it's basically I started off not drinking coffee just because it wasn't a part of my fast. But now I realized that coffee was doing way more damage to me in the morning than I thought and that I knew. Okay, when you wake up, the first thing you should be drinking is water. As a matter of fact, if it's okay to have coffee in the morning, it's just not okay to have coffee within the first 90 minutes of you actually waking up, putting your body into a position, of shock and stress. That's what coffee does to you. So after 90 minutes in the morning, after doing my research, realize that it's not stressful at that point. But in the first 60 to 90 minutes, it increases the stress in your body, shoots the cortisol up, and again, things start to happen against you. So your day is already starting off bad, right? And so that's very, very important. If you wake up drinking water in the very, very beginning of the day, right, and maybe even with a pinch of salt for minerals, what have you, that's going to set up your day to where, when you actually have coffee later on, your body won't be impacted as much. So little stuff like this that I figured out. But yeah, water. That's all I drink. No alcohol. Even on my wife's birthday, when we went out for dinner, no alcohol there. Went out to a lounge with some friends, no alcohol there. And right now, it don't faze me. It's not a craving for it, and I don't have a problem with peer pressure. So yeah, it is what it is. All right. Okay. What is the start time daily? I have okay. Fasted 3 years, gained 20 pounds. This past year, need steps. Okay, Scott. Okay, great question. Well, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time. So if you're East Coast, 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're Pacific, it's going to be 4 a.m. Mountain, 5 a.m. And it's in WhatsApp. We get in, we dial in, and we put ourselves on mute till it's time for us to talk. But what I'll do, Scott, send me a message, and on WhatsApp you have my number already, and I'll send you the invite to the Walk and Talk group. All right, all right. Here, let's see. Here we got a Carla. I began to walk and talk during the first week, and I noticed better sleep, eliminating less healthier foods, and higher endurance, even in extreme mid-Atlantic cold. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's see here. What has been my go-to meal for old man, especially for energy, and how much? Okay, so for me. I'm protein is very, very important, guys. And this is one of the nuggets I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all this one for free. So this is actually gonna be a topic of discussion one day. But when you look at the meals, a lot of you guys would actually lose weight, right? And I was actually gonna talk about this tomorrow morning, but you guys get this early. But a lot of you guys would actually lose weight if you just change the order in which you eat your food. Okay. And so a lot of you eat your food wrong. Right. So when I mean each the order in which you eat your food, you're supposed to eat your food, the protein first. Okay. So whatever you have for protein, eat that first, eat half of it at least. You want to get a good portion of that down first, right? Then you want your vegetables and your fibers, right? And so go after your greens, your leafy vegetables, your salads, whatever it is. And then you take down your starches and your carbs, right? And so you do those, your rices, your bread, all that stuff, potatoes, do that last. And what you'll see is because of, the your body when it gets that protein, guys, it enters the body, into the tummy, right? And then it starts to speak, and then all of a sudden the little L cells start to say, "Hey, we got energy." And what happens is it triggers, was it GLP-1? I think that's what they call it. So it's the same thing that happens when you take a Ozempic, shot, right? What happens is it tells the body, hey, we have energy here. We're not as hungry, okay, and you don't have to eat as much. Okay, so now when you eat your vegetables, you're continuing to put those things, the good things in there. And then by the time you get to the carbs, right, the bread, the starches, and stuff like that, you may not eat it all. But guess what? When you do eat it, whatever portion of it you do eat, you're eating it in the third position, which means that your body has already adapted to the protein and started to, set up, really, really good, um, really, really good responses to the protein and to the veggies and fiber. So if you actually did that, now one other caveat, y'all, love me for this. Before you even take that meal, right, and reverse, how you eat, 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of, and trust me, the day was day one for that, because this is stuff I'm studying, right? This is stuff I'm learning right now. I did this today. 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of um, the apple cider vinegar and raw, unfiltered, right? And you got a cup, put 1 tablespoon. If you got 2 cups and you want 2 tablespoons, knock that out. But 10 to 15 minutes before, because that actually works, in a position where it makes insulin your ally, right? It's harder for you to have an insulin spike and stuff like that when you do that. It puts the body in a really good position to receive whatever you're about to eat. So, but also, it has other benefits as well. So when it comes to, just what you do before you eat and how you eat your food, that's most important. But I've been eating, like today I had it's been chicken mostly. Um, Today I had a chicken burrito and a grilled chicken burrito, lettuce, tomatoes. It was actually wrapped up like a burrito, but grilled, freshly grilled chicken breast and lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, no cheese. And I went and found a avocado based mayo, right? And so that's you know one of our members this morning, told us about, right? And so I went and bought. Matter of fact, she told us about, Candace to go get this and that. So I went and got the ketchup, the avocado based ketchup. I went and got the avocado based mayo, and I went and got the avocado based, salad dressing. So, because she was telling me that, what's in all these condiments, and the condiments is hurting people more than the actual food, right? And so there's so much bad stuff in the condiments that you can eat a really healthy meal and have the horrible condiments on it, and it just erase all of the benefits of it. So all your ketchups, your mayonnaise, your dressings, all that stuff there, guys. When you change that, and with like an avocado based, type of condiment, it makes it healthier, and it doesn't, flip you fast, and it doesn't, really do any damage to your weight loss journey. So those are things I'm adding to, um, my meals, and my life. Those are part of my lifestyle changes, that I'm having. And Kroger actually has them. Kroger and Kroger, they also have an avocado base. It's called Primal, Primal. They also have a avocado based olive oil, high heat olive oil, to be more specific. So that's going to help you guys out. But go to chicken burrito. It was at first it was chicken, rice, beans, and a little bit of cheese, and a spinach wrap, right? And so now it's the same spinach wrap, but now it's chicken, lettuce, tomatoes, and pickles with avocado-based mayo. Also, I do the Chipotle bowl. My wife, she makes me the Chipotle bowl at home. One of my other go-tos that I really love is the air fried chicken wings. Because she go hard. She can either make them jerk or she do whatever. But this is air fried, not grease fried. And so when you talk about go-tos, those are my go-tos when I want to have a healthier, meal, and something that I won't get tired of eating. All right. So when I say you can enjoy, your foods, and you can still eat, and you look forward to that one meal when you are, doing a 1 day, 1 meal a day diet, or fasting, but you're not starving for it. You just, you're looking for it as a reward, saying, you know what, I did it again. Right. And you appreciate it. You're full when you finish, and you're going about your business. You're not hungry again, or you're really not that hungry. You're just eating out to feed your body and satisfy yourself. So, but that's what my go-to meal is. Okay. I'll tell you, Landry. I started day one of walk and talk, and decided to start walking through my house since we have extremely cold weather there. And I'm gonna just say, guys, I did the same thing when it was freezing here in Houston. She helped me continue my streak of my walking days. But she's been doing a Daniel fast, again, which is a fruit fast I was telling you guys about, and she's doing great. Lost weight, more clarity, better sleep, and lost interest. A lot of great things, a lot of testimonials. And guys, just so you know, all these people who or giving these testimonials, what have you. All these we have doctors, physicians, we have people who are nurses, we have people who have fasting backgrounds, and people who have experience in these conversations that we're having. So guess what? You are now in a position where you're getting real answers back from people who are qualified to give you those answers. It's not just me, right? So it's one heck of a community. But here's Tim Neal. I got started on Walk and Talk first week, and it was launched. I'm experiencing more mental clarity when it comes to my health and eating choices as a result of the call. I have lost some pounds. I am sleeping better, and I'm waking up feeling refreshed. The knowledge and the coaching on a myriad of topics has definitely increased my personal growth in several areas of my life. And like you said, several areas of his life. We don't just talk about health and wealth, guys. We talk about money. People got questions about money. We talk about it. People have questions about credit. we talk about it. Investing, we talk about it. Real estate, we talk about it, right? Whatever you have, business in general, speaking, whatever it is, we talk about it. So, but that's what makes the hour go by fast, right? Yeah, everybody's learning from each other, and everybody's growing together. So, let's see here. Question: do you recommend cold or room temperature water early in the morning? Uh, Warm, I would say room to warm. There's nothing wrong with room temperature. Room may be the best for most people, but I would say room to warm, because again, it's something that it helps the body wake up. It doesn't shock it, right? And if you throw like a little pinch of salt in there, like sodium, I would say sea salt or Himalayan salt, for your minerals, you guys get your day started right. That's what I would suggest. My vitals are, and this is Dr. Felicia, my vitals are much better since I joined. I added the stretch bands to my exercise and I feel good. Let's see here. All right, Scott, we look forward to you too, bro. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, and thank you. Please quick question. Like I said, okay, would you recommend performing a foot bath to help detox the body at the end of the day? I mean, as far as foot bath, I've had them, and I do believe in foot bath detoxes and stuff like that. I don't know how many you can have, a week. I don't know if there's a limit you can have, um, but I'm just saying, if detox is, you can't go wrong with detoxing. Okay, just make sure when it comes to regularity and stuff like that, just do a little bit of research, make sure it's safe, and I would say knock yourself out. I actually have the tub in my home. So a week ago, I need to actually start doing it at least once a week. I've been doing it once a month. So, but you just asking that question triggered it for me. So thank you. Okay, let's see here. Laura Johnson here. Yeah, I joined Walk and Talk on day 2. I was very sedentary, and as a senior, I was concerned with my ongoing mobility. I walk daily on my treadmill, 30 minutes to 50 minutes, during our sessions, and I now have a better quality of sleep. I'm moving better, and I'm learning principles of wealth and leadership. And it's great. It's a great environment. And we all know when Laura get on and when she get ready to talk, because as soon as she unmute, that we can hear that treadmill. So she's getting it. And so proud of you, Laura. I'm glad that you bring you also, and she also brings value, asks great questions, and always gives good, great reflection, like a lot of our people do. All right, Thomas Butler, yeah, yeah. And see, that's Thomas Butler. I call him Professor. Like I said, we have they have recipes that they share in the group. They have wisdom that that we share in the group. And he talked about one day he hit me, hit everybody. Actually, we talked about how food is a drug, and it's being sold by manufacturers that don't care anything about us or our families, and they don't see us as human beings, right? They see us as access points, but more importantly, as renewable resources. Okay, and what we mean by renewable resources, you actually have children, right, that they get to sell, food to kill them a slow death, and when they have kids, right, they get to kill their kids, you know, by selling them bad food and killing them with a slow death. And it's a ongoing cycle. It's very, very destructive, but it's very, very profitable for them. As a matter of fact, when you look at a lot of the things about the sensationalizing of breakfast, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast was never the most important meal of the day, right? When people live into 100 on a regular, 90, 100 on a regular meal, breakfast is something that if you got a chance to do it, that was great. But most people did it off for one, maybe 2 meals a day, not three. 3 meals were sold to us so they can sell to us, right? So again, just remember where you live at now. Remember in this country that we live in, there are a lot of things that in our foods that they don't even allow in other countries, right? There's a lot of countries that there's a lot of stuff that's in our products that's banned in other countries, right? And so that kids aren't even allowed to eat certain things at school. So just saying, guys, it's a really good situation for us to be in, and for a community for you to be in too. So, see here, drinking cayenne pepper water is effective, making my skin feel softer, and I don't taste the spice at all. Yeah, I sprinkle cayenne pepper on a little bit of everything, that I eat on purpose. Let's see here. Walking Talker has boosted my endurance and energy, strengthening my leg muscles, and helped me clear out my lungs and made my heart feel better. Yeah, guys, I'm just the walking and the talking, especially if you're fasting, pay attention to your body. All right. And when you start with us, journal your process, and that way you can see, how things are changing, not just your weight. Some people have things where they take their vitals in the house and they take the blood pressure, check the cholesterol and whatever else that they be suffering with, or they're just interested in, making sure that they maintain. But look at the quality, of the levels and impact that walking and talking or exercising and fasting or that's happening on you. That leg again, the circulation in his leg, guys, is awesome. Like I said, it's getting so much better, and even the color is coming back. The discoloration, the darkness is now is dissipating. So I'm just telling you, you can't beat it. But as I wrap up, guys, again, I really want you guys to understand that today it wasn't about selling anything. This is just me, again, put myself in a position where I was able to serve, and everybody who was interested, in health and wellness and weight loss and what we had to offer. I hopefully you got something out of this, right? And you all have my inbox. You all have my, most of you guys have my cell phones, whatever. I'd love to see some of you guys. And if you're on Walk and Talk, it's not a must that you talk at all. I have people who are driving on the way to work every day because that's what time they go to work. But they listen on the way to work because of the information that they're getting and the empowerment that they're getting and things that they're feeding their brain with on the way to work, right? And so they walk or work out when they get off of work because they feel left out, right? They feel compelled to work out. They feel like they're cheating themselves and the team, in that group because there's only so much you can listen to, right? People are experiencing this, and people are losing that weight. People are, shrinking on the waistline, and people are shopping at the back of their closet again because they lost that weight. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We haven't wore those clothes in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and you ain't throw them away because they still almost new, right? And so now you lose that weight, you get to shopping at the back of the closet again. Now, hey, let me see what I can throw on now, right? So, but yeah, it's only so many times you can get on a call and hear something like that without taking action. It's very, very inspiring, very, very motivating. And so, but I see I mean, happy to see a lot of my friends on here, got some family members on here as well. But hey, guys, I'm excited about what's happening right now in my life. Definitely want to make sure that you guys, if you have any questions about fasting, let's talk about it. All right. Hit me up, inbox me. I don't have a problem with anything. This is from the heart. This is, again, from me to you. And, at some point in time, we all will be able to share this information, pay this information forward and, really start to help people reverse what's happening to them, not just physically, right? Not just physically, but we're talking about mentally. Right? That's very, very important. You have a lot of people who they don't even know that they're, being drugged. They have no idea that they're addicted to the chemicals, not the food. They think it's the food that they can't do without. They don't understand that, I'm watching 2020 and they're walking through a lab, and that lab, they were showing them how Frito-Lay's, that chip, they put a special salt on that chip, right? And they're, they have a nice little jingle, a nice little catchy phrase, you can't eat just one, right? And there's a reason why. It's what they put in that salt, right? Think about it for a second. Half of y'all have been, on diets and stuff like that. You got kids, and you so-called buy the chips for your kids, right? Their lunch, and you sneak into the closet and say, I'm just gonna eat one or two. I've been good, and you peeking around the corner. Next thing you know, you ate half the bag before you stop, right? You keep telling yourself the same lie, just two more. Right? It's just three more. You're getting bigger handfuls now because you thinking this is gonna be the last handful, but by the time you finish them, you gonna get what? Another handful. As it's the drug, right? Coca-Cola. Think about it for a second. You want your Coke, what? Cold. You want it fresh. You want the bubbles, you want the whole entire experience. But what's the best, sip of the Coke? The last one. It's a drug that tells you guys, look, as soon as you finish and it's gone, that last one, the very, very last bit of Coke, is the best part of the Coke, and it triggers something in your brain says, "Hey, open up another can or get a refill." And what do? Open up another can or get a refill because you're chasing that dopamine hit from that last taste. That's a drug, right? The stuff that they put in there to make it taste good, guys, those are drugs. That's not natural food. Right? That's why your body cannot perform. That's why it's always in a weakened state, a sickened state, right? A dying state, right? And so this is the time for you to go out there and cleanse it. Go out there and give. We were talking about this the other day, guys. There are a lot of things that you feel like you can't do without, right? You've been eating bad or smoking or drinking or whatever it is bad for your entire life. And give it up for 30 days. Fast on just that one thing. You don't have to give up. You don't have to fast like I fast. Just fast on something for 30 days that you may be unconsciously addicted to, and watch what happens. Okay. So we have Katura, and we started this little hashtag for her because she and it was she realized that she wasn't the only one. She talked about her chip addiction when I talked about chips and Frito-Lays, like I just talked about that little story last week. She talked about this yesterday, saying, "Hey, Um, I just want you to know I went on a chip diet." And I said, "Oh, she whipped the chip. Hashtag whip the chip, right?" And so that's been the hashtag, whip the chip, right? A lot of y'all need to whip the chip, right? So, but we're gonna whip it together, guys. This ain't something that you trust me. Is it possible that you can get this done by yourself? Yes, it is. Is it probable for you to get it done by yourself? No, not really. Because if that was the case, guys, you'd already done it, right? And so let's turn your goals and dreams, to reality. Let's take your possibilities and turn them into probabilities. And when we get together as a community, guys, they do come to fruition. And then you actually not just accomplish your goals, you got to look back behind you and see how many people you brought with you that accomplished theirs as well. Because it's nothing like, being able to put yourself in a position where in July, everybody's going to the beach in a new body, right? Everybody's going to wherever we end up at, Cancun, wherever we're going in July, hey, won't nobody be looking like they looked in January. Not my people, not in the walk and talk group. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's it, guys. I'm glad I've got most of the questions, I think, if not all the questions taken. And let's see here. Let me look on Facebook real quick. I don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, okay. So you mentioned, and this will be the last one I take. So you mentioned the body doesn't burn, it eats. So yeah, guys. So at some point in time, when you get to a certain hour and the body realizes that it's not you're not going to feed it again, right? The rumbling that you hear, it's not your stomach growling and it's hungry. It's basically your body talking to itself and communicating, and it's telling us, hey, he's not going to feed us. So we got to go ahead and start eating. And it starts to now feed on itself. It starts to eat the visceral fat, starts to eat the other fat, all the fats that it's accessible to, right? And that's what you really want. Okay? You're not starving yourself. You're not starving your body. You really want the body to feed on itself, right? And so that's very, very important. Remember, you can't force weight loss, right? All you can do is, enable the things like or get change the things that are keeping the weight on, right? You can't force it. Only thing you can do is change the things, the habits, behaviors, and the things that you're putting in your body to actually put yourself in a position where now the weight just walks away, just goes away, and you don't even have to worry about it coming back. That type of thing. Okay. So wake up, guys, empowered, just knowing that you're in a safe place. Wake up knowing that you have access to people who really want to put yourself in a position, where we all win. We all get to our own goals, and we all win, as a team, as a community. And that's something you'll take with you, for the rest of your lives, and you'll have people who are connected with you on those journeys that you guys have memories together. And be grateful for each other. So, with that, guys, I appreciate you. Look forward to working with those of you who are wanting to work with us. We're going to be creating some other communities and some other things, as well for people to join. And so we'll have a bigger group, maybe a Facebook group or a Go High Level group or something like that. But it won't be a charge for people to be there. We just want people to win. We want people to have a better quality life, and that's my service for this season. Okay, so Take care, guys. We'll see you guys at the top. See you guys at the bank. And definitely see you guys on the beaches of the world in your new bodies. You have a blessed one. Good evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Thank
Bean.
you,
you.
guys. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Yes, sir. Yeah, have a good one.
Recording